Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mercedes Robertson. I am going to be talking to you today about some of the performance measurement practices that I have observed in the Las Vegas Urban League's Early Childhood Connections program. So, to give you a little bit of background on the Las Vegas Urban League's Early Childhood Connection program, they have been servicing Las Vegas and Pahrump residents since about 2003. They are a program that focuses on offering reduced child care cost to low-income families. They help with everything from finding a daycare center to potentially registering a family friend or neighbor that they trust to keep their children. The Las Vegas Urban League itself has 9 programs, one being the Early Childhood Connections program. They have a senior center, their MLK Senior Center. They offer financial stability to young professionals, and they also have their WIC program, which services women, infant, and children with healthy eating habits. So, Las Vegas Urban League is a part of the National Urban League, who has been servicing individuals in the United States since 1906. They were founded off of the basis of wanting to give African American, Black and Brown individuals a safe haven or a place to go to kind of find community resources. And they currently are in 35 states and are servicing over 2 million people nationwide. So, in the data collection process, just to kind of give you some insight on who collects it and how often do they collect it. So, the Las Vegas Urban League uses a process, uses some different processes. They have a few, but the ones that I noticed were the biggest were the agency records, which is the method of them collecting all of the applications, all of the documents received from their clients, and archiving them, and then sending them to a representative from state of Nevada to be reviewed to ensure that there is accuracy and implementing the program policies, and also to make sure that they are servicing the most amount of people in the Las Vegas area. They also use the survey method, in which they give every individual that comes into their door for services, no matter how many times they come in for services, a survey to kind of talk about their experience and talk about the services that they received, and really give some consumer insight as to how the organization itself is doing. Both of these roles, I believe, play a major role in the organization and how it is able to continue receiving funding. So, just to go a little into how those measures are collected. So, the Las Vegas Urban League Early Childhood Connection program has about 5 different departments. They have the program assistants, who are kind of like the front line, the front desk individuals who act as the face of the organization. They're typically the first people that are seen, the first people that see the clients that come into the offices. Then they have their case managers, who typically are the individuals who approve and deny the cases. They have the most contact with the clients. Although theirs isn't the initial contact, they typically will have the most contact with the clients, because they do process all of the address changes or any complaints that the client may have. They'll probably go to their case manager first. The case managers do all the approving and denying of any clients, so they're kind of the ones that keep the program going. Then they have their resource and referral team, which is a team of individuals who are highly educated in some of the different community resources in Las Vegas and Pahrump. So they are the individuals who direct their clients to different child care centers. They are the individuals that host a lot of our community outreach events, just to kind of ensure that they are servicing the most amount of people. They have their payments team, who are the individuals that is kind of self-explanatory, but they enter the payments. They ensure that all the different child care centers and all the different providers in the community are being paid in a timely fashion, and they have their quality assurance team. Now, the quality assurance team is really special to the program. They kind of do all the auditing, they do the evaluations, they do most of the grant writing. They are the individuals who, if there's any discrepancies in policy, they will be the individuals to represent the program, to fight for the program and say that, well, it was the case was approved because the policy was interpreted to be approved that way. The quality assurance team is also the individuals, kind of like the in-house auditing system. So they'll randomly take files. So they'll reach out to different supervisors from different departments and randomly select files to be audited to ensure that they are that the individuals processing the cases are processing them under policy guidelines. The quality assurance team are the individuals that the representatives from state of Nevada will contact to pull files quarterly to kind of keep up and make sure that the files are being processed accurately. So the performance measurements that they use, which are the record keeping and surveys, they do affect the budget of the program. Because this is a state funded program, the funding is based on the need of the community and the rate at which the program is processing the applications accurately. So if a plethora of clients submit a negative survey, or if the community opinion of the program is fairly bad, it will affect the funding. Funding will begin to be limited, and even with the program itself, if they are not processing their cases timely, if they are incorrectly processing them or not necessarily following the policy guidelines, then yes, funding will be taken away from that program, which can severely affect it. A majority of that program's funding does come from state of Nevada, so the ensuring that the records are being kept accurately and that their consumers are satisfied with the services are a big part of the program. It's very important. The strategic plan and performance assessments are all shaped around the policy guidelines issued by state of Nevada, because the program does want to ensure that they are following all rules implemented by their funding source. It's almost like having a grantor, have rules on their grant. Las Vegas Urban League, ECC, does have to ensure that they are following all the guidelines. So any strategic plans or any performance assessments are shaped around those policy guidelines to ensure that that funding source does not get limited. So how the community is involved with the performance measurement of the Las Vegas Urban League Early Childhood Connections is really highly through their surveys. The surveys do matter, and I think the community has a general understanding that their surveys do matter. Currently, there are about close to 2 million individuals in Nevada, close to 3 million individuals living in Nevada, and of that number, there are about 6.2% of those individuals who are under the age of 5. Now, because of this, Nevada recognizes the need for help paying with early childhood education, and they understand that the costs are high, so they do have early Head Start programs Head Start programs and funding sources that are offered to many different programs in the community. So Las Vegas Urban League is not the only foundation or organization that is offering these types of services. So individuals can definitely take their services elsewhere if they don't feel like they're getting what they need from the Las Vegas Urban League. And the organization recognizes that, so they definitely take these surveys they believe that they are important. When the organization receives negative surveys, they bring it to their team's attention, and they do all that they can to address that and ensure that their clients are being supported and being given the best services that we can within our policy. So they have a big impact on the survey side. Now, with the record keeping and archiving side, I believe that they do have an impact on that implementation, because if there are not enough individuals giving accurate information, then it will generate skewed results. The clients are informed and educated on the systems that are in place and why it's very important to provide accurate information, so that the state of Nevada understands that the risk is high for individuals who have children under the age of 5 and need safe quality and affordable childcare services. So I believe that the citizens are definitely involved in the performance measurement part of Las Vegas Urban League Early Childhood Connection. So now that I've gone into detail about a little bit about how they do their performance measurement and also how the community is involved, I think that it's a good system. I think that they are very limited in the different systems that they can use because it is a state-funded organization. Although I'm pretty sure they receive funding from other sources, the majority of the funding that is coming in is from state of Nevada. So there are certain rules that they have to follow. They aren't allowed to bend those rules a lot without a lot of pushback. I think that for the parameters that they've been given, I think that they're doing a pretty good job of ensuring that they are keeping the records up to date, keeping a good record system of the different types of clients that are coming in, the different types of needs that are are in our community, and also keeping track of all of those records to ensure that all of their team, everyone on their team, is following their policies put into place by state of Nevada. I think that that's the really big part, is that they're able to not only keep track of the clients that come into their office, the needs that they have, and kind of test the temperature of the community, but they're also able to utilize those same sources, that same information, and send it up north to say, hey, not only do we need this funding because there's definitely, more than enough individuals in the community that need it, but we are also implementing the policy as you see fit. We are also, doing everything that we can to make sure that we are processing these cases to your desires, to your requirements. So I definitely think that they're using a good system, and I even think that using the survey method goes a step further. I feel like it's kind of like the icing on the cake for the record keeping and the auditing. It gives the community a voice to say, hey, not only are they implementing your policies, but we're satisfied with the policies that are being implemented. So I think that definitely gives the community the opportunity to speak to the state of Nevada to say, these are policies that work for our community, and not only do they work, but this organization that you're funding is implementing these policies right. I think that's very important, that the measurements that they use not only give the voice of the organization to say that we're doing it right and we want to continue receiving funding, but it gives the community a voice as well. So if I could do anything differently, or rather I would say if I could add anything to their performance measurement practices, I would say I would add in a role-playing aspect. I think that because that organization is servicing the most at-risk clients of the Las Vegas community, it would be very easy to get a high caseload and forget the language of the individual and forget why there may be so much frustration with the individual. I think that if the organization, receives a negative survey, or, they see a continuous kind of culture surrounding different aspects of the organization, I think it'd be a very good idea to implement role playing, to on one end, maybe have an individual act as, the state of Nevada representative, and give their case managers and their resource and referral team and their payment center, an opportunity to kind of feel what the representative is looking for, so that way they have in their mind an understanding of why certain things are important. And I also think that, if they get negative survey reviews, it'd be a good idea for an individual to act as the client and another individual to act as the case manager. So they both have an understanding of, okay, I may be very busy, but I don't want to forget that my clients are in need. That's the only reason that they're going to that organization, is because they have a strong need for it. So I would recommend that they implement a role-playing aspect, not only in their initial training, but maybe even quarterly. Collect the surveys and see, how their team is doing. What's the temperature? What's some areas of improvement that they can add on, and use that as a training aspect, and train their team from that basis to say, you guys are doing great in these areas, but here are some areas of improvement. So based on that, I would say role playing would be a good performance measurement aspect to add to their already what I think is pretty good performance measurement tactics. So that will be the end of my video. Thank you for your time.